Hello everyone. So in this video I will show you how to extract geobodies using Seisnetics 602 and newer versions. The first thing I did is I found a very interesting surface in a dataset somewhere in the North Sea, and what you see on the surface, depicted by the green color, are beautiful turbidites. So you have the main feeding system and then some side channels and lobes. And the idea here is to see if we can extract these geobodies and look at them in 3D, calculate very simply the volume and maybe the area. So the first thing I did is I put the geopopulation in the working list. I'm going to click on the geobody module, and so here the first thing I do, for instance, is I'm just giving it a name, turbidites. Can call them 1 if we wish. I click on plus. And so I will import the attributes. So for instance, I can import fitness and the amplitude and or the isochrone. I can import 1, 2, or 3, but here we'll try first with the fitness. So you see clearly what we want to do is to take everything that's light green, so which is basically above probably 0.8, 0.9. So I'm going to define everything that's above max. I will compute the label map. So I select my surface again, now I have the label map, and I want to say I want to take everything above the max. So everything above the max, you see if I move around, I'm taking more or less, because I'm taking lower fitness values. So here, for instance, what I want to get is the main system. So now I want to extract all these systems, which are my turbidites, so the zone area of interest. So once I have this, I just click on selecting the body, and it's taking everything. So now I can decide to take more or less. For instance, I can decide to take more if I go on the right side. It will take a little bit more gray areas. And then I will try to remove. You see now it's spilled a little bit over. What I can do is I can either take less to define, and this it's going to take just this system. So I'm going to leave it around here because I also want to take this guy. And so once I have this, it's almost over. I have to define the thickness. So the thickness, either you define a constant shift below and above this area. You can define how many cycles you want to use in the waveform, or you can import two surfaces which are above and below, and you will compute basically the volume between these surfaces. So just to show you one example, I will use a cycle, and I'm saying I'm going to take one point so of a shift above and the same below, and I'm clicking on the compute. And now I have I have the minimum, the maximum, the mean in milliseconds for this area, and it computed an area which is here equal to 45 square kilometers and a volume in cubic meters. So I can change, of course, the velocity depending on what I think I have in this area, or what I know I have in this area. And so what I have, now I can look at the surface in 3D. So if I'm looking at this, I will remove my window, and now I have my system. And so you will see I can decide to compute a bit more and a bit less. So I see the geometry, I see the changes also below, so it's not very even. And I can decide, for instance, to take a higher shift, so a bit more. And you will see that it will recompute and increase a little bit my shift. So I can take maybe a bit less, for instance, and even less. You see it changed, and now we'll decrease it again. Up, smaller, and now we'll make it way bigger. So depending on the knowledge I have and what I see in the seismic, I can decide to recompute really the volume of my geobody. And so you see, of course, the area has not changed, but the volume has changed. And so this is the very fast way to extract geobodies in Seisnetics. And once again, I can, for instance, decide to put a shift, so for instance, 2 milliseconds above, 2 milliseconds below, and it will recompute once again you see up. Now I have much thinner body, so of course the volume has decreased. And I can, the same thing, I can import basically two surfaces above and below if I know where to look, and the one I can pick on my seismic. So that's really the way it works, and how easy it is to extract geobodies in Seisnetics. And then you can click on save, and every time you will open again Seisnetics, you will have access to the body with the possibility to change what you have done during the extraction.